Hi, Lyric Services, Trisha Warner here. Welcome back. I'm so happy that you're doing this video with me. I know it's been very challenging times for a lot of us, and we're all adjusting to this temporary new normal for all of us, and we've had to make a lot of changes in our work and our home lives, and we're now having to pick up a lot of new roles, and it's been challenging. So I'm very happy that you're going to take this 30 minutes to work on you and take care of yourself. So like always, if there's anything going on with your body, then you're not feeling comfortable with doing a particular exercise, please don't do it. Listen to your body. Do something else while we're doing that exercise, and then rejoin us when we are done doing that one. So you guys know, the people that have been coming to me for the direct contact know what exercises that you should be cautious with, or ones that you need to work a little harder on. We're not going to need much equipment for this one. If you can grab a couple of cans, or so anything 1 pound, Poland Spring water bottles would work just fine. Something to put between your knees for bridging. You can use a yoga block if you have it. You can use a roll of toilet paper, or a ball if you have a ball that you can kind of squeeze a little softer. Pillow, towel, be creative. I know you're in your home environment, so look around and see what you have. And then the only other thing you're gonna need, so just one of those things, you don't need all of them, just something soft you can squeeze between your knees for some bridging activities. And then a strap. You can use a yoga strap like this is. You can use a belt, an old tie, a robe, drawstring tie, or TheraBand works too. If you happen to have some TheraBand in your home, that would work as well. So again, if you're not comfortable doing the exercise, don't. If you have any low back disc problems, you would want to avoid flexion, so you wouldn't want to come into those forward exercises. So if we're doing a flexion exercise and you have a back problem, you can keep your back straight and come into a hinge, or if you have osteoporosis, that would be the same modification for that one. If there's anything in particular going on with your body, feel free to email me. My email is triciafinch@hotmail.com. That's TRICIAFINCH@hotmail.com. You can email me your concerns, and I'll happily get back to you if you're not comfortable posting on the YouTube station. So let's get going. I'm happy that you're here. And let's start with some rib breathing. Let's do some, we've all been on the computers a lot more too, me included, much more than usual. So let's go ahead and set our ribs on the mat. Laying in the hook line position, hands on your rib cage. You're gonna inhale and expand your rib cage, filling your lungs with air. As you exhale, you're going to use your hands to actually wring some of that air out. You can press on your rib cage. Your rib cage has joints, it's flexible. So go ahead and exhale, squeeze your ribs in towards your spine. Inhale, let your ribs expand into your hands. And I like to think of my rib cage as an accordion as I do this. So as I inhale, the accordion box is opening. And then as I exhale, I'm squeezing that music box, getting the air out of my lungs with a minimal to moderate pressure. Let's do a few more. Inhale to expand. Exhale to wring it out. Joseph Pilates called this the internal shower. Great, and now let's warm up our low back. So we set our ribs on the mat now. We're gonna do that pelvic clocking. So if you think of your pelvis as a clock, 12 o'clock is up here near your chest, 6 o'clock is down at your pubic bone. You're gonna roll your pelvis up to 12 o'clock, pressing your low back into the mat. Inhaling as you tip your pelvis forward, creating a small space in your low back. Exhale, roll your back, pressing it into the mat. Inhale, creating a small arch. Everything we're doing should be pain-free. If you're experiencing any pain or discomfort, first try to minimize the motion. And if that doesn't work, discontinue it altogether. Pilates should feel good. Exhale to create the arch and set back down in neutral at this time. So next one we're going to come into is scapular punches. So getting those shoulder blades moving now. So lift your arms up to the ceiling, and then without bending or straightening your elbows, your arms are going to stay perfectly still. You're going to reach your shoulders away from the mat. It's not a huge motion. My shoulders lifted maybe an inch or two. And then exhale, press your shoulder blades back down into the mat. Inhale to reach, exhale to press. Keeping your rib cage on the mat and keeping your spine in that neutral position. So now we're not pressed and we're not arched. We're somewhere in between, which is your neutral. Inhale to reach, exhale to press. Let's do 5 more. Just getting some nice gliding motion of the scapula on your thorax now. So you hold a lot of tension in those shoulder blades when we're using a keyboard. So we're just getting and moving here. Feels good. Good, now we're gonna take one arm up overhead, the other arm is gonna come down by your side. So just some arm arcs to get some nice range of motion through our shoulders. Inhaling and exhaling comfortably. Sometimes we have to time the breath with the motion to help facilitate the motion. Sometimes I just want you to breathe easy and just think about the quality of the movement. Think about what's moving in your shoulders and kind of connect to your body a little bit. This is a good one to do some mindful movement, really concentrating on the speed that you're arcing your arms, the movement in your shoulders, the glide of your shoulder blade. One more each side. Your head is resting comfortably. There's no tension in your neck or your jaw. And then relax your arms back down. We're just gonna slide our legs out one at a time. This will help prepare us for the next exercise. So you're gonna slide one leg out and then bring it back in. So this is called hip disassociation. We wanna move from our hip without moving our trunk. Believe it or not, this itself, even though it doesn't feel hard, is working on low back stabilization, which we all need, even if you don't have low back pain. And let's do one more each side. Great. Make sure you're positioned comfortably on the mat. So now we're going to engage your core a little bit and float one leg up to tabletop, and then mindfully bring the other leg up to tabletop. You're going to alternate extending your legs out to 45 degrees. So we're going to reach one leg out and then bring it back in, and reach the other leg out and bring it back in. Oh yes, that abdominal wall is turned on now. Very good. And in, and out, and in. Great job. We're going to change this after this next repetition. Good. And now arms are going up to the ceiling. We're going to come into dead bugs. So now the knee is not going to extend like the one we just did. We're actually going to move from the hip, and we've been doing this one in class. So you're going to move from the hip, knee stays fixed at 90 degrees as the opposite arm arcs up overhead. Bring it back in. So this is a progression. This one we haven't done before. I'm making it harder for you each week because I want to see you get stronger and fitter. Arc this way and then bring it back in. So the left leg goes, the right arm goes, and the opposite arm stays up to the ceiling. Keeping that same arc in your low back. So your body is not moving, your core is not moving. You are stabilizing here. A fantastic way to stabilize the core. Oftentimes people only associate flexion-based abdominal exercises with strengthening your abdominal wall. You know, your typical sit-ups or crunches. And it's so important to also strengthen in neutral, because when you're in neutral, you function mostly from neutral and put one leg and the other leg down. So we don't walk around in flexion all day. We walk around hopefully much more in neutral in an upright position. So it makes a lot of sense to strengthen in neutral and not only in flexion, because this is where we live, hopefully, most of the time. Okay, now we're gonna come in and to hug your knees and just Rock it out a little bit. Good, and then circle the other way. And then put your legs back down. Now we are going to strengthen in flexion. So this will be a perfect demonstration of what I was just explaining. So we are going to strengthen our abdominal wall with flexion in a I would say intermediate exercise. It's a little complicated. I want you to stay with me. You're going to inhale to prepare. As you exhale, you're going to lift your head and shoulders off the mat. Keep the weight of your head cradled in your hands. Inhale, you're going to arc your arms and reach behind your thighs. Exhale as you pull yourself up a little higher. Inhale as you arc your arms back behind your head. Exhale as you roll back down. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, chest lift. Inhale, arc your arms. Exhale, pull up a little higher. Inhale, arc your arms back. And exhale to roll down. Good. Inhale to lift. Exhale to arc. Inhale to lift. Exhale, come all the way back down. Inhale to prepare. Exhale and lift. Inhale and arc. Exhale, pull up a little higher. Inhale, arc your arms back down. Exhale all the way down. I think we did enough of those. Great job. We're going to come into trunk rotation. So I'm going to have you grab that object to put between your knees and grab a can. So I'll put the pillow because most likely you're using a pillow or something like this at home and not the yoga block. So, squeezing the pillow between your knees, go ahead and bring it up to tabletop. Arms up overhead, you're going to hold onto the can with both hands. As your legs rotate towards your left, your arms go to the right, and then you're bringing it back up to center. Only go as far as you can without losing that control. And moving to the other side, and back to the center, and rotating again, and back to center. So we're working on our obliques now in this position. Exhale and inhale the whole time. And last one. And good. You can put the weight off to the side. Take one foot down and then the other foot down just for back health. Put your pillow off to the side. Separate your feet the width of the mat and let your knees go over to one side. And feel a nice stretch through your hip and your back. If you bring your arms out into a T, you'll emphasize that stretch a little bit more. And then bring your knees back up and let's go over to the other side. And we'll go back and forth one more time. Keep your can handy. Actually, you'll need both for the next one. Or your bottles of water, whatever you have. Good. Bring your knees back up. Grab your cans. Coming back down. How are we doing on time? Very good. Go ahead and float one leg up into tabletop and then the other leg up to tabletop. Keeping neutral spine. Just a small little mouse hole under your low back. Bend your elbows, bring the weights up to the ceiling. We're going to bring the weights down by your side and then back up to the ceiling. And down by your side and up to the ceiling. Keep your legs in line with your hips. You can't see the distance between my knees. It's about 4 or 5 inches. And lower and up. This isn't a ton of weight. And that's not what we're going for with these. We're not going for, really hypertrophying the muscles. And these are toning exercises. These are exercises that are going to get you long, lean muscles, fit muscles that are healthy and pain-free. And now we're going to come out to the side. Open the chest up and lift them back up. If going all the way down to the floor causes you discomfort, minimize that range of motion. I don't know about you, but these 1 pounds are working me. So I hope they're working you too. I know that Kathy and Amy are rocking these. And last one. And lower back down. You can lower one leg down to the mat and then the other leg down to the mat.
and take a little breather. Grab your pillow. We're gonna come back into bridging. So we're kind of alternating today. We're doing a little front body, a little back body. Now we're coming back to the back body. So squeezing the pillow between your knees, giving it a good moderate squeeze. Your feet are even close together. So we're adding those inner thigh muscles to the bridge today. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift your hips up off the mat. Inhale at the top, exhale, lower down. And do 4 more times. Squeeze that pillow, lift up, and lower back down. And 2 more. And last one. If you don't feel your inner thighs, you will now. Go ahead and squeeze the pillow 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And lower back down. Excellent. So now we're going to take the pillow out from between your knees, and we're going to add a bent knee fall out in the middle of this. So we're coming back to the bridge, but separate your feet hip width apart for this one. Exhale, lift up into the bridge. Now you're going to roll one knee out and then bring it back in. So I'm just rolling the weight on the outside of my left foot. You can just start with either one, keeping your hips nice and level. So it's just a little hip opener. That feels really good after sitting more than usual. I have never in my life been so grateful for technology as I am right now. It's fantastic that my kids can still go to school and take their drum lessons and piano lessons. And I can work and talk with you all. At my rehab job, I'm doing telehealth visits with clients, and patients above 70 years old. They're all connected and we're all coming together and getting it done. So I switched to the other side. You got 2 more. And last one. And lift the hips up before rolling all the way back down. Let's actually do that. One articulating bridge. It's so important in Pilates, and it's a really valuable principle to work on spine articulation. So before, when we were bridging, we were just hinging. Your spine was moving as one solid unit. This last few bridges here, let's peel our spine off the mat and just take a moment to roll your tailbone, press your low back into the mat. Exhaling, peeling, starting with your tailbone way down here. Peel your back up off the mat into a nice big bridge. Inhaling at the top, and then you're going to lower. Like your spine is a string of pearls, you're going to lower 1 vertebrae, 1 pearl, all the way down to the mat. Finishing with the tailbone. And let's do that again because that feels like such a nice massage on the spine. Inhale to prepare, exhale, roll the tailbone up to the ceiling. Lifting 1 pearl up at a time, really trying to get some isolated movement between the vertebrae. Inhaling at the top. Now soften your chest like there's a weight on your chest as you roll back down 1 vertebrae at a time, all the way down to flat. Excellent. Okay, we're gonna come into single leg stretch. I know we've been on our backs for 15 minutes now, but it just feels good. It feels good to stretch out on a mat after sitting all day and getting your legs up against gravity for that venous drainage. Okay, so let's do some stretching of the legs here. So put your left leg in the strap and let's just start with flexion and extension. And nice and easy. If you can't straighten your leg all the way out to the ceiling, reach it out on a diagonal. You'll get there if you keep doing these. And now that you guys have these recorded on YouTube, it would be great to do them a couple times a week. I'm trying to keep them just to a half an hour. I get a little carried away, and now that I don't have a strict end time, I'm watching, trying to get it there for you. And then if this feels easy for you and you happen to have long hamstrings like Christina, straighten that other leg out and straighten the opposite one. And we're just gonna lower and lift. Let's do 5 here. Lower and lift. So if this is a tight muscle for you, bend the opposite leg. If you feel like you want more of a challenge, just to review, straighten it back out. Last one, and up. Now we're just going to flex and point the foot. So allow, if you're working with a static strap like I am, allow the strap to move as you flex and point your foot. Get a nice little calf pump in here. And last one, good. Now I know you guys love this one, Susie. You're gonna hold on to it with your opposite hand and then draw the leg across your chest until you feel a nice stretch. And take one more breath in this position. You're gonna feel this on the whole outer thigh, maybe all the way down the outer shin. Then you're gonna put the strap in the same hand as that leg and stretch it all the way out to the side. Get a nice inner thigh stretch right at the inside of the knee, maybe a little bit in the groin. And last breath, and then bring it back in. Take that foot out. Let's switch to the other leg. Right foot goes in the strap, holding your leg out straight. If you need to, bring it down. We're just gonna bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Warming up that hamstring. Those muscles do get tight quickly. And last one, I feel this for sure. And that's usually something that is a strength for me. And let's come down. So remember, if this is a hard one for you, bend your opposite leg. You still feel it. It's still working. Last one. Hold it up. And now let's go ahead and point and flex 10 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, and 10. Good. Hold the strap in your opposite hand, keeping that hip, your right hip on the mat as you reach it across your body. Feel a nice stretch through that whole IT band. Great for you runners. I'm trying to put some stretching in here for you, Perry. I know that's something you wanted to see. Go ahead and now turn your foot out, holding onto the strap. Let's bring it out to the side. Hopefully you guys are getting outside a little bit when you can. Get a little fresh air. So good for our spirit, mind, and body. And hold a good stretch there. And then bring it back in. And take your foot out. Even if you just go out onto your deck and do some nice deep reps with arm arcs would be, so rejuvenating. Quick ab series, and then we're gonna get up, I promise. Legs up in tabletop, hands behind your head. Exhale, lift your head and shoulders. Grab one knee with your hands. I don't care which one, we're gonna switch in a second. Opposite leg goes out to 45 degrees, and we're gonna switch. 1, 2, exhale as you bring the knee in. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, and 10. Bring both knees into your chest. Arm and legs reach away from each other. Circle your arms around and bring them back to your shin. Inhale, arms and legs go away. Exhale, bring them back in. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Wonderful. Come on up. Let's get into quadruped. So I'm going to change my mat orientation a little bit this way so you can see what's going on. All right, so first a little cat-cow. So we're going to exhale, round your back. Head looks down at your knees. Tuck your tailbone under. Inhale, extend your spine, and arch your back up. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. One more. And arch. Now find neutral, just like you did on your backs. We're gonna find that neutral position. And if I go to the side, so I'm not like this, and I'm not like this, I'm kind of right in the middle, where you have just a natural arch in your low back. Shoulder blades, you can't tell with this hood. Shoulder blades, or that's better, are sitting nice on my rib cage. From this position, we're gonna do alternating arm and leg lifts. So right arm lifts out, left leg lifts up. These are not easy for me. Go ahead and switch, and down, and switch. So I am imagining that there is a nice cup of tea balanced right here on my low back, and I don't want to spill it. So I'm keeping my core really engaged. The natural tendency is to want to kind of lift up like this. We don't want to lose our balance, so picture something on your low back. Maybe a nice hot beverage on this cold, rainy day. And last one, hold it. I'm gonna make this one harder for you guys because those of you who've been working out with me have been doing these for a few weeks now. You're gonna bring your arm and leg away from your midline and then back to the center. Just 5 times. 2. Oh yeah, it's hard. 3, 4, and 5. Good. Bring that back down. Switch to the other side. Arm and leg are extended. Just the height of your back. They move away from midline. 1, 2. Yeah, you can see me. That's okay. 3, 4, and 5. Awesome. Hands under your shoulders. Knees under your hips. So if I was this way, I'm directly like this. We don't want the hands out here. They're going to be right under your shoulders, knees right under your hips. Toes tucked underneath. We're coming into jackrabbit. You're going to think about drawing your hands to your knees and your knees to your hands, which is going to turn on your abdominal muscles. Then you're going to float your knees off the mat. Just an inch or 2, and then bring them back down. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift the knees up. Oh, I got my heart rate up. And then relax down. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift up. So stay here if you're working and you feel the work, just stay here. You're working. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, hold those knees up. And then, so those of you just keep going up and down with the jackrabbit. If you want more of a challenge, go ahead and reaching out one leg at a time. And I'm just straightening back directly behind me. Core is on. Legs are working. I'm starting to sweat. Good, last one. Bring your knees down, hands reach out in front. Come on all the way down into a child's pose. You deserve it. Nice little stretch here. Try to let all that tension go. Let's come on to our stomachs. Move back a little bit more so you can see me. We're coming into single leg stretch. Move my equipment here. Okay. And then you're going to alternate lifting one leg up at a time. So I'm going to bend, extend my leg and lift it up off the mat and then switch to the other side. Bend, bend, lift and lower. Bend, bend, lift and lower. Bend, bend, lift and lower. Lift and lower. And last one. Great. If you feel like you have a lot of flexibility here, you can actually progress this by grabbing your ankle and coming down into a little bit of a quad stretch. If you feel like there's no way you can grab your ankle, you're looking back there going, no, Trish, I can't, there's no way. Then just keep doing single leg stretch while we come into this quad stretch here. Switch and do the other side. And breathing into that stretch. This is really good to stretch out the quad and the hip flexor. And then come back down. A little prone press up. Hands right next to your chest. Engage your abdominals a little bit. Pull your belly button away from the mat actively with your muscles. Exhale, you're going to come up into a nice little arc. And then lower back down. We're going to do 5 times. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Great. Come all the way up. We're going to come into sitting into a little bit of a roll down. So, Annie, I put this one in for you because I think it's really good for lengthening out the muscles of the forearms and really for all of you because, like I said, keying, lots of tightness in these forearms. Rolling halfway down, rolling up. Extend your fingers and your wrists as you open your chest back up. So you're rolling halfway down and then coming back up. If this is difficult, put the strap around your feet and just rolling down and rolling up. If you don't yet have the core control in your stomach to come down halfway without holding on, just use the strap. The rest of us are going to be here. So this is like the intermediate here. And then for a little bit more of a challenge, you can do the weights. Halfway down, lift it up. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, I'm working. 4, 5. Let's do 8, 6, 7, 8, and come down. Sitting cross-legged facing me. If this is hard, you can sit up on something. You could, if you don't have yoga blocks, you can get some books or a firm cushion, anything like that to sit on. If sitting cross-legged is difficult. If not, you can just sit down. I'm kind of glad I'm not there in person. My hair appointment was canceled like everything else, and I'm kind of glad you can't see it from here. We'll all be back to normal soon. I'm hopeful. This is temporary. Yeah. Arms out to the side. Let's do some twists. Bring your stomach muscles in. Arms out to the side. Turning, pulsing 2 times. 1, 2, and straight. Twist 1, 2, and straight. Good. And straight. We'll do 5 times on each side. 3, and 4. This should feel good. If this is too much on your arms, you can bring your hands behind your head. If that doesn't feel good, you can do it across your chest. Little I Dream of Jeannie. Good, arms out to the side. Let's come into a little side bend, up and over, stretch. Lengthen the side of your body, worked hard today. And stretch. Don't be afraid to use that floor hand to kind of push off. And don't be afraid to let that elbow bend. If you keep it straight, your shoulder kind of gets all jammy up in your ear. Let it bend, let that shoulder drop away from your ear. And then coming back up. Forearm stretches. Like I said, we're all on the computer, so I'm just holding my arm out in front and stretching my wrist both ways. We're almost done. Let's do 2 times each side. Thank you for participating and keeping this program going, even though I can't be with you. Personally, I really appreciate you guys valuing this program and keeping it going at this temporary time. All right, last exercise is the roll down. So come on up to standing. I'm just gonna tip this up a little bit. And you're gonna stand like you have a wall behind you, nice and tall. Inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, you're gonna nod your head, rolling all the way down. 1 vertebrae at a time. Inhaling down here at the end, appreciating every inch of that stretch. Exhaling, round your tailbone, rolling all the way back up. Inhale to lengthen. Exhaling, nodding, rolling all the way down. Inhaling down here. Exhaling, roll your tailbone, rolling all the way back up. Standing up nice and tall. Inhale, arc your arms out to the side. Reach up, take a nice deep breath in and know that we can do this together. Inhaling up. You guys are doing fantastic. I wish you the best. I will see you next week with another video. Thanks for participating. Bye.